Before we get started, I want to talk about human-centered learning, where psychology drives ethic. This is a common pattern in instructional technology. The tool becomes a starting point, decisions focus on platforms, features, and what is new, with the assumption that learning will follow. When technology leads, learner needs often come second. Cognitive load, relevance, and emotional readiness are overlooked, which can make learning environments overwhelming or inaccessible. Instead of supporting learning, technology creates barriers, complexity replaces clarity, and compliance replaces engagement. Now, on the other side, the psychology-first approach. A psychology-first approach starts with the learner. It focuses on how people process information, what motivates them, and what helps them make meaning. When educational psychology guides design, technology becomes intentional. Tools are chosen to support thinking, reduce cognitive load, and create conditions for engagement. In this approach, technology amplifies learning rather than competing with it, because learning is treated as a human experience, not a technical process. Learning is often framed as a technical process, something that can be optimized through tools, platforms, or systems. Educational psychology challenges this assumption by positioning learning as a fundamental human experience. It reminds us that learning is shaped by cognition, emotion, motivation, and context, not by technology alone. Instructional effectiveness is not driven by technology itself, but by the learning theories that guide its use. This framework positions educational psychology as a foundation for instructional technology, shaping not only what tools are used, but how and why they are integrated into learning environments. Within instructional technology, there is a persistent tendency to foreground tools, platforms, and emerging innovations. Instructional decisions are often driven by what technology can do rather than what learners need. Without theoretical grounding, technology can become a barrier, overwhelming learners through extraneous information, unclear navigation, or fragmented content. This approach frequently prioritizes efficiency and compliance over deep, meaningful learning. The metaphor of climbing illustrates a critical shift in thinking. The real learning is not found in mastering the technical procedures, but in the internal examination of fear, courage, integrity, and identity. In the same way, instructional technology should not focus solely on tools and features, but on the internal learning experiences they are meant to support. Educational psychology provides a conceptual lens that brings clarity and coherence to instructional decision-making. Rather than functioning as a collection of abstract principles, it serves as a decision-making framework that shifts the focus from what technology is used to how learning occurs. Through this lens, learning is reframed as a human process rather than a technical one. From a cognitive perspective, educational psychology emphasizes the limits of human information processing. Cognitive load theory and working memory research highlight how poorly structured or overloaded environments can inhibit understanding and retention. Instructional design must therefore attend carefully to pacing, scaffolding, and content organization. Technology can either support this process or undermine it through excessive choice and complexity. Motivation and self-efficacy play a central role in engagement. Learners are more likely to persist when tasks feel meaningful and when they believe they are capable of success. Educational psychology shifts instructional design away from compliance-based participation toward experiences that cultivate agency, relevance, and confidence. Learning is not an isolated cognitive activity. It is shaped by social interaction, emotional readiness, and relational context. Social constructivist perspectives emphasize dialogue and collaboration, while affective theories highlight the impact of fear, anxiety, and belonging. Effective instruction must attend simultaneously to cognitive structure, emotional conditions, motivation, and social context. When educational psychology informs instructional technology, the guiding questions change. Instead of asking what the newest platform can do, the focus shifts to how technology can reduce cognitive load, support autonomy, and account for the emotional and social experiences of learners. Technology becomes a means of amplifying learning rather than an end in itself. From an educational psychology perspective, professional learning must acknowledge that educators bring prior knowledge, professional identity, and contextual constraints. Effective design positions educators as active participants rather than passive recipients and focuses on transfers to practice. While self-paced models offer flexibility, learning without structure, reflection, or connection may limit engagement and impact. How does this connect theory to practice? Educational psychology functions as a connective framework linking instructional design, professional learning, and scholarly inquiry. The concepts explored here directly inform a problem of practice focused on how educators experience professional development. All this within a technology-mediated and self-paced learning environment. This lens allows theory, practice, and research to inform one another. Self-efficacy is often treated as a simple outcome of participation. Educational psychology reframes it as a condition for learning, shaped by instructional design, feedback, and opportunities for successful application. This shift informs how professional learning environments are conceptualized and evaluated, moving beyond surface-level measures. This perspective necessitates a shift in research focus. Rather than measuring participation, completion, or tool usage alone, educational psychology supports inquiry centered on perception, engagement, and transfer. It allows for a more nuanced understanding of why some learning experiences lead to meaningful change while others do not. This is where everything comes together. When we center learning theory, technology stops being the focus and becomes the support. Educational psychology reminds us that learning is human first, and everything else follows from there.